The USS Liberty moved slowly through the dark edge of the Orion Arm. It was a medium-sized destroyer with strong guns and thick armor. Captain Ethan Hayes stood on the bridge. He was a tall man with short brown hair and calm blue eyes. At 42 years old, he had seen many battles. Today felt quiet. Too quiet. Around him, the crew worked at their stations. Lieutenant Olivia Grant sat at the weapons console. She was young, only 28, but very sharp. Her fingers moved fast over the controls as she checked the missile tubes. Next to her, Ensign Noah Ramirez watched the sensors. He was a quiet man who loved machines more than people. The rest of the bridge crew, Sophia at navigation, Lucas at communications, Ava at engineering links, kept their eyes on screens. The Liberty carried 320 people. They were all trained, tough, and proud. This ship was their home. Every corner had a story. Every system had a backup. Humans built it that way. They did not trust luck. They trusted hard work and smart tricks. Out in space, nothing moved. No ships, no signals. Just stars and silence. Captain Hayes looked at the main screen. "Status report," he said in a low voice. "All systems green, sir," Ava answered from her station. "Engines at standby. Weapons hot if needed." Olivia added, "Missiles loaded. Point defense guns ready. Shields up at 70% to save power." Ethan nodded. "Good. Keep scanning. Something feels off." He was right. Without warning, the alarm screamed. Red lights flashed across every screen. Noah's hands flew over his controls. Multiple contacts. Hyperspace exits. 12, no 15 ships, closing fast. Olivia's eyes went wide. "They are not ours. Profiles do not match any known human or allied design. Insect-like hulls. Energy spikes high." Captain Hayes stepped forward. "Battle stations. Raise full shields. Bring main guns online. Lucas, try to hail them." Lucas sent the standard message. "This is USS Liberty of the United Earth Fleet. Identify yourselves and state your intentions." No answer came. Instead, the unknown ships opened fire. Bright green beams cut through space. The Liberty shook hard as the first shots hit the shields. Sparks flew from consoles. The ship groaned under the impact. "Shields at 54%, Ava shouted. Ethan kept his voice steady. "Evasive pattern Delta. Return fire. Target the lead ship." Olivia pressed the button. The Liberty answered with fury. Railguns roared. Heavy kinetic rounds flew out at high speed. 2 enemy ships took direct hits. One exploded in a bright flash. The others spun away, leaking plasma. But there were too many. The enemy ships, sleek, black, with long sharp points like giant bugs, moved in perfect formation. They jammed communications. They poured energy weapons onto the Liberty from every side. "Boarding pods incoming," Noah yelled. "They are launching small crafts straight at our hull." Ethan clenched his jaw. "Seal all bulkheads. Arm the crew. Prepare to repel boarders." The ship rocked again. A loud bang came from the starboard side. Metal screamed as something cut into the hull. Then another, and another. Inside the corridors, red emergency lights turned on. Crew members ran to their posts with rifles in hand. Security teams in heavy armor took positions behind cover. Engineers grabbed tools that could double as weapons. On the bridge, Ethan turned to his people. "We hold this ship, no matter what. They do not get the Liberty." Olivia looked at him. "Sir, their tech is advanced. They jumped in without warning. They knew exactly where we were." Then they are about to learn something about humans. The first boarding party broke through an outer airlock. Tall figures stepped out. They stood over 8 feet high. Their bodies were covered in dark chitin armor. Long arms ended in sharp claws. Their heads looked like insects, with large compound eyes and clicking mandibles. They carried energy rifles that glowed with blue light. The Krell, That was their name, a new empire from the far side of the arm. They had contacted humans only months ago. Talks were polite. Trade offers were made. Then silence. Now this. The Krell moved fast. They shot at anything that moved. Human security teams fought back. Bullets sparked against chitin armor. Some Krell fell, but more came. In the main corridor near engineering, Petty Officer Benjamin Cole led a group of 10. They set up a barricade with overturned carts and spare plating. When the Krell charged, Benjamin fired his rifle in short bursts. The others returned fire. Energy bolts burned holes in the walls. "Fall back to secondary position," Benjamin ordered. They ran, firing as they went. Behind them, automatic turrets popped out of the ceiling. These were small, hidden guns the crew called Angry Bees. They spat rounds at high speed. 3 more Krell fell. But the aliens kept coming. On the bridge, the situation grew worse. The enemy ships had locked tractor beams onto the Liberty. They pulled the human ship closer. More boarding pods attached like ticks. Captain Hayes watched the tactical display. Red dots spread across the ship like blood. "Olivia, target their command ship. Full salvo." Olivia hesitated. "Sir, if we miss, we might hit ourselves." "Do it anyway." She fired. 4 heavy missiles streaked out. The lead enemy ship, a large vessel with a crown of spines, tried to dodge. Too late. 2 missiles hit. The ship broke apart in a silent fireball. A cheer went up on the bridge. But it did not last. The Krell commander, High Talon Vexkar, stood on his flagship bridge. He watched the destruction of his second-in-command's ship. His mandibles clicked in anger. "These mammals fight like cornered beasts," he said to his officers. "But they are few. Take their ship intact. Their technology will belong to the Krell Empire." He gave the order. "Board and secure. Capture the crew alive if possible. Kill only if necessary." The Krell pushed harder. In the engine room, Chief Engineer Ava Thompson worked fast. She sealed blast doors. She rerouted power. She activated hidden traps, steam vents, electrified floors, flashbang grenades on timers, anything to slow the enemy. A squad of Krell broke into the engineering bay. Ava's team fought them with wrenches, plasma cutters, and rifles. One Krell grabbed a young engineer named Lucas. Ava shot it in the face. The alien dropped, but more came. "Captain," Ava said over the internal comms, "we are losing sections. They are everywhere." Ethan answered, "Hold as long as you can. Help is coming." He did not know if help would come. The nearest fleet base was 3 days away at best speed. No one was close. The bridge burst again. A loud crash. The ceiling panels fell. Krell warriors dropped down from vents. They aimed their weapons at the crew. Olivia stood up, pistol in hand. Noah pulled a combat knife. Sophia grabbed a fire extinguisher. Ethan stepped in front of them. "Stand down," he told his crew. Then he looked at the Krell. "You want the ship? You have it. But you will regret this." The lead Krell warrior stepped forward. It towered over Ethan. Its voice came through a translator box, cold and mechanical. "Mammal Captain, your resistance ends. You are now prisoners of the Krell Empire. Surrender your vessel." The Liberty is not just a ship. It is our home. And homes are hard to take. The Krell laughed, a dry, clicking sound. "We have taken it. Your crew is scattered. Your systems are under our control. You have lost." Ethan said nothing. He just smiled. High Talon Vexkar watched from his ship. He saw the human captain on the screen, small, soft-skinned, no armor. Yet the mammal looked calm. "Strange creatures," Vexkar said. "They fight when they should run. They smile when they should beg." He turned to his officers. "Secure the bridge. Bring the human captain to me. I wish to speak with him." The Krell moved in. They forced the bridge crew to their knees. They took their weapons. They bound their hands. Captain Ethan Hayes was pulled to his feet. A Krell warrior pushed him toward the door. As he walked past Olivia, she whispered, "We are not done yet, sir." Ethan gave the smallest nod. The Krell thought they had won. They thought the fight was over. They were wrong. The Liberty still had secrets. Layers of defense no alien could understand. Systems built by humans who hated to lose. Traps. Backdoors. Angry little programs that waited for the right moment. 3 hours. That was all the time the Krell had left before they would beg to give the ship back. But for now, they celebrated. They claimed the bridge. They walked the corridors. They thought the prize was theirs. Captain Ethan Hayes was taken to a holding cell. He sat on the cold floor. His hands were bound. His face was bruised. He looked up at the camera in the corner. The holding cell was small and cold. Captain Ethan Hayes sat on the metal bench, with his hands still bound behind his back. A single blue light glowed from the ceiling. The air smelled like burnt metal and alien sweat. Across from him, Lieutenant Olivia Grant sat on the floor. Her uniform was torn at the shoulder. A cut above her eye had dried blood on it. She looked tired, but angry. They were not alone. Ensign Noah Ramirez leaned against the wall. His glasses were cracked, but he still tried to see everything clearly. Petty Officer Benjamin Cole paced the small space. His big hands opened and closed, like he wanted to hit something. No one spoke for a long time. Then Olivia broke the silence. "How long do you think they will keep us here, sir?" Ethan looked at the camera in the corner. He knew the Krell were watching. "Not long," he said quietly. "They want answers. They want to know how our ship works." Olivia gave a small laugh. "They will not like the answers." Outside the cell, in the corridors of the USS Liberty, the Krell moved with confidence. High Talon Vexkar had come aboard himself. He walked tall, his chitin armor shining under the ship's lights. His officers followed him. They carried tools to cut into consoles and devices to scan human systems. On the bridge, a Krell technician named Klixar worked at the main control panel. He touched the screen. It flickered. Then it showed strange words in bright red letters. "Access denied. Go away, bug boy." Klixar clicked his mandibles in confusion. He tried again. This time, the screen changed to a picture of a cartoon human sticking out its tongue. Below it, words appeared. "Nice try." The Krell officer next to him made a sharp sound. "What is this? Human humor?" Klixar tapped harder. The console beeped. Then it spoke in a calm female voice. "Warning, unauthorized user detected. Initiating minor annoyance protocol." Suddenly, the chair under Klixar became very hot. He jumped up with a loud screech. His legs kicked as he tried to cool his backside. The other Krell laughed at first. Then their own chairs started to vibrate fast. They jumped away too. High Talon Vexkar watched from the doorway. His large eyes narrowed. "This is not normal machine behavior. Find the source." In engineering, another team of Krell tried to take control of the power core. They plugged in their tools. Lights flashed. Then the room filled with a loud, annoying song. It was an old human tune about a never-ending story. The volume grew louder and louder. The Krell covered their ears. One of them smashed a speaker. The music stopped. But then it started again, from another speaker across the room. Chief Engineer Ava Thompson was locked in a small maintenance room nearby. She had hidden there when the Krell first boarded. She smiled when she heard the music. She knew exactly what was happening. The Liberty had many small programs like this. They were called pranks. Humans put them in to annoy enemies who tried to steal the ship. Nothing deadly yet. Just enough to make the aliens angry. Ava whispered to herself, "Keep smiling, Bugs. It gets worse." Back in the holding cell, Ethan leaned his head back against the wall. He closed his eyes for a moment. In his mind, he counted. 1 hour had passed since the capture. The Krell thought they had full control, but they did not know about the layered defenses. The ship had 3 levels of protection. Level 1 was physical. Guns, turrets, locked doors. The Krell had beaten that with numbers. Level 2 was electronic. Firewalls, false data, fake controls. That was running now. Level 3 was the meme one. The ship itself would fight, but that would come later. Olivia watched Ethan. "You look calm, sir." "I am calm," he said, "because I know something they do not." "What is that?" Ethan opened his eyes. "The Liberty does not like strangers touching her." Benjamin stopped pacing. "You mean the AI? Libby?" Ethan nodded once. "Libby is awake. She is watching, waiting." Noah pushed his broken glasses up. "But they cut the main power to the core systems. How can she still run?" "She runs on backups," Ethan said. "Small power cells all over the ship, hidden. They only turn on when the ship is in danger. Right now, she is using very little power, just enough to play games." Olivia smiled for the first time. "Games like hot chairs and bad music?" "Exactly." In another part of the ship, a group of Krell tried to open the armory. The door would not move. They used cutting tools. Sparks flew. Then the floor under them became slippery. Oil sprayed from hidden nozzles. The Krell slipped and fell. Their legs waved in the air, like bugs on their backs. One of them tried to stand. He slipped again and hit his head on the wall. A voice came from the speaker above the door. It was Libby's voice, sweet and friendly. "Caution, wet floor, please watch your step." The Krell shouted in anger. They fired their energy rifles at the speaker. It exploded. But then another speaker in the ceiling said the same thing. High Talon Vexcar received reports from every section. Small problems, strange events, nothing big enough to stop them, but enough to slow them down. He stood on the bridge and looked at the captured human captain on the screen feed from the cell. Ethan sat quietly, no fear on his face, just that small smile. Vexcar turned to his second officer. "These humans, they do not beg, they do not cry. Why?" The officer clicked. "Perhaps they are stupid." "No," Vexcar said. "They are planning something. Bring the captain to me. I will ask him myself." 2 Krell guards opened the cell door. They pulled Ethan to his feet. Olivia tried to stand. One guard pushed her back down. She glared at them. Ethan looked at his crew. "Stay strong. This is not over." They dragged him through the corridors. Ethan walked without fighting. He looked around as he went. He saw Krell trying to use human tools. He saw consoles that refused to work right. He saw doors that opened for them, but closed fast behind them, almost catching their tails. When they reached the bridge, High Talon Vexcar waited. He towered over Ethan. The human looked small next to him. "You are the leader of this vessel," Vexcar said through his translator. "I am," Ethan answered. "You fought well, but now it is ours. Tell me how to control it fully, the weapons, the engines, the shields, all of it." Ethan looked up at the tall alien. "Why should I help you steal my ship?" "Because if you do not, we will hurt your crew." "You can try." Vexcar made a low sound. "You think we will not?" "I think you already have enough trouble without making more." As he spoke, the lights on the bridge dimmed for a second. Then they came back brighter. A console near Vexcar beeped. Words appeared on it. "Temperature rising in alien armor. Suggest removal for comfort." Vexcar looked at the screen, then at Ethan. Ethan shrugged. "See? Little things." Vexcar's mandibles clicked fast. "You built your ship to mock us." "We built our ship to survive," Ethan said, "and to make thieves regret their choices." The Krell commander stared at him. For the first time a small doubt entered his mind. These mammals were weak, soft, small, yet their ship acted like it had a mind of its own. He waved a claw. "Take him back to the cell. We will break the systems ourselves." The guards pulled Ethan away. As he walked back, Ethan counted in his head. 1 hour. and 40 minutes since capture. The pranks were getting stronger. The ship was waking up more. In the cell, Olivia waited. When Ethan returned, she stood up. What did he want? To talk, Ethan said. He is starting to worry. Benjamin grinned. Good, let him worry. Noah looked at the vent in the ceiling. I think I can reach the maintenance crawl space from here. If I can get to a junction box, I can send a signal to the others. Olivia nodded. Do it quietly. Noah climbed up. He was thin. He fit through the small opening. Soon he disappeared into the dark. In the corridors, the Krell kept working. But now they moved slower. They looked over their shoulders. Every sound made them jump. A door slammed shut for no reason. Lights flickered. A cold wind blew from a vent that should not have air. One young Krell warrior whispered to another, "This ship, it hates us." The other clicked in fear. High Talon will hear. But deep down, they felt it. The ship was alive. And it was angry. Captain Ethan Hayes sat back down in the cell. He looked at the camera again. He smiled wider this time. 2 hours had almost passed. 2 hours and 10 minutes had passed since the Krell took the ship. High Talon Vexcar stood on the bridge of the USS Liberty. His tall body filled the command chair that once belonged to Captain Ethan Hayes. Around him, his officers worked fast. They tried to unlock more systems. They plugged in their tools. They spoke in quick clicks and hisses. The translator boxes on their chests turned the sounds into rough English words. Everything looked under control. The bridge lights stayed steady. The main screen showed the Krell fleet waiting outside. Victory seemed close. Then the lights flickered. Not once, many times, fast, like a heartbeat. Clixar, the technician from before, looked up from his panel. Power fluctuation, not from our devices. Vexcar turned his head. Fix it. Before anyone could move, a low hum started. It came from deep inside the ship. The hum grew louder. Then every speaker on the bridge spoke at once. Intruder alert. Hostile presence confirmed. Engaging defensive measures. The voice was calm, female. It sounded almost kind, but the words carried a sharp edge. Vexcar stood up fast. What is this voice? Shut it down. Clixar tapped keys. Nothing happened. The screen in front of him changed. Big red letters appeared. No. Then the chairs moved. Not much, just a small tilt. Enough to make the Krell lose balance. One officer fell sideways. His rifle clattered to the floor. Another tried to stand. The chair tilted the other way. He fell too. Vexcar grabbed the armrests. This is impossible. The ship cannot move on its own. But it could. In the corridors, things got worse. A squad of 6 Krell marched toward the engine room. They carried heavy cutting tools. They wanted to force the main core open. Halfway down the hall, the gravity changed. Not off, not full. Just wrong. In one section, gravity pulled sideways. The Krell slid against the wall. They tried to walk. Their feet slipped. They looked like they were climbing a steep hill. One warrior lost his grip. He slid back 10 meters and hit a bulkhead hard. In the next section, gravity dropped to almost nothing. The Krell floated up. Their long arms waved. They tried to grab handholds, but the walls had no grips for them. They spun slowly. Their weapons floated away. A voice came from hidden speakers. Please remain calm. Zero gravity training in progress. The Krell shouted. They fired their rifles at the ceiling. Sparks flew, but the gravity stayed off. Further ahead in a narrow passage, gravity went the other way. It pulled down hard. The Krell dropped like stones. They hit the floor with loud thuds. One warrior screamed as his leg bent wrong. In the mess hall, where 20 Krell rested and ate stolen human food, the replicators turned against them. The machines hummed. Then they spat out hot liquid. Not water, coffee. Scalding black coffee. It poured over trays. It splashed on chitin armor. The Krell jumped back. The hot liquid burned their joints where armor did not cover. Then the replicators shot out grease. Thick, slippery grease. It covered the floor. The Krell slipped again. They fell into piles. Trays crashed. Food flew everywhere. One Krell tried to run. He slipped and slid across the room like he was on ice. He crashed into a table. The table broke. More grease poured out. The voice spoke again. Spill cleanup required. Caution, hot surfaces. In a small maintenance crawl space, Ensign Noah Ramirez moved like a shadow. He had escaped the cell through the vent. Now he crawled through tight pipes. His hands shook a little. But he knew this ship better than anyone. He reached a junction box. He opened it with a small tool from his pocket. Inside were wires and small screens. One screen glowed green. It said, Libby online, ready for input. Noah whispered, Libby, this is Ramirez. Give me control of Section 7 turrets. The screen blinked. Access granted. Non-lethal rounds loaded. Targeting hostiles. Noah smiled. Fire when clear. Back in the corridors, automatic turrets popped out from hidden panels. Small guns. They looked like angry bees. They spun fast. Then they shot. Not bullets that killed, rubber rounds, fast and hard. They hit Krell armor like punches. The aliens staggered. Some dropped their weapons. Others ran. One Krell raised his rifle. A turret shot his hand. The rifle fell. Another shot hit his knee. He went down. The turrets moved. They followed the Krell. They shot legs, arms, shoulders, never the head. Just enough to hurt and stop. In engineering, Chief Ava Thompson heard the shots. She was still hidden in her small room. She had a tablet. It connected to the ship's systems through a hidden line. She saw the reports coming in. Turrets active. Gravity anomalies in progress. Environmental controls overriding. Ava typed fast. Libby, flood compartment 12 with CO2. Non-lethal concentration. The ship answered. Executing. In compartment 12, 10 Krell tried to break into a weapons locker. Gas hissed from vents. Not poison, just carbon dioxide. Thick, heavy. The Krell started to feel dizzy. Their movements slowed. They coughed. Their large lungs worked hard. One by one, they sat down. Then they lay down, asleep. Ava whispered, Good girl, Libby. On the bridge, Vexcar watched chaos on the security screens. Red alerts flashed everywhere. His warriors fell. His teams failed. Systems locked him out. He slammed a claw on the console. This cannot be. Machines do not fight like this. A new voice came over the speakers. Not Libby this time. Captain Ethan Hayes. His words were calm. You wanted the ship, High Talon. Now you have her full attention. Vexcar spun around. The main screen showed the holding cell. Ethan sat there, still bound, still smiling. How are you speaking? Vexcar demanded. Ethan shrugged. The ship listens to me. Always has. In the cell, Olivia watched the small screen on the wall. It showed corridor feeds. She saw Krell running, falling, getting hit by turrets. She turned to Benjamin. They are losing control. Benjamin nodded. About time. Olivia stood up. She walked to the door. It was locked. But then it clicked. The lock turned green. The door slid open slowly. She looked back at the others. Libby let us out. They stepped into the corridor. No guards. The Krell had run to other problems. Olivia picked up a fallen rifle. Benjamin took another. They moved fast. Quiet. In auxiliary control, a small room near the engines, Sofia Martinez hid with 3 other crew members. They had been locked in when the boarding started. Now, the door opened. Sofia looked out. Clear. She led her team to a console. She typed a command. Libby, release lockdown on deck 3. Done, the voice answered. More crew members got free. They grabbed weapons. They moved in small groups. They took back sections, one by one. The Krell felt the change. Their numbers dropped fast. From 200 boarders, only half remained active. Many lay unconscious. Many limped. Many hid. High Talon Vexcar stood alone on the bridge now. His officers had run to help other sections. He looked at the screens. He saw humans moving. Free. Armed. He felt something new. Fear. He opened a channel to his fleet. All units, the human ship is fighting back. Systems are hostile. We cannot hold. A reply came fast. High Talon, report status. Vexcar clicked his mandibles. The ship is alive. It defends itself. We are losing warriors. Silence on the other end. Then a new sound. From every speaker on the bridge. A low laugh. Human. From Captain Hayes. Time's almost up, High Talon. 2 hours and 50 minutes. You still have 10 minutes to decide. Vexcar turned to the camera. You think this is funny, mammal? Ethan's voice stayed calm. No, I think it's fair. In the corridors, a Krell warrior ran toward the bridge. He carried a wounded friend. Behind him, turrets followed. They shot once, twice. The warrior dropped. His friend fell too. The ship kept fighting. Libby did not stop. She changed temperatures. Hot in some rooms, freezing in others. She locked doors. She opened vents. She played loud sounds that hurt sensitive Krell ears. She was not cruel, just thorough. The Krell who stayed conscious started to whisper. This ship is cursed. It has a spirit. It hates us. High Talon Vexcar heard the whispers through his comms. He looked at the main view screen. The human fleet was still far away, but the Liberty did not need help anymore. She was winning on her own. Vexcar felt his mandibles tremble. For the first time in his long life, a Krell commander knew defeat. Not from guns, not from soldiers, from a machine that refused to be taken. The 3rd hour was ending, and the begging would start soon. 2 hours and 50 minutes had passed. The USS Liberty no longer felt like a captured prize. It felt like a living trap. High Talon Vexcar stood alone on the bridge. His officers had scattered. Some ran to help fallen warriors, others hid in corners, afraid of the next surprise. The tall Krell commander gripped the command chair so hard, his claws left marks in the metal. Every screen flashed warnings. Red icons blinked. Systems locked. Power rerouted. Life support dropped in sections full of his people. The air grew thin where Krell still stood. Oxygen levels fell just enough to make heads spin and legs weak. Not death, just misery. A loud clang came from the corridor outside the bridge. The door slid open halfway, then slammed shut again. It opened once more. Slammed. Opened. Slammed. Opened. Like it played with them. Vexcar turned. No one there. Just empty hall. Then a small drone rolled in. A cleaning bot. It stopped in front of him. Its round eye lit up green. A speaker on top spoke. Attention, intruder. You have 10 minutes to leave before permanent measures begin. The voice was Libby's. Sweet, polite, deadly calm. Vexcar stared at the little machine. You dare threaten me? The drone tilted its head. Not a threat, a fact. The ship protects its crew. You are not crew. It rolled away backward, never turning. The door closed behind it, with a soft click. Vexcar felt cold inside his armor. He had led fleets, crushed worlds, taken ships from stronger races. Never had a machine mocked him like this. He opened a channel to his flagship. His voice shook a little. All ships, prepare evacuation pods. The human vessel is uncontrollable. We cannot secure it. The reply came fast. High Talon, confirm. You are abandoning the prize? Vexcar clicked his mandibles. It is no prize. It is a nightmare. The ship fights us. It thinks. It hurts us without killing. Our warriors fall to tricks and traps. We must leave now. Silence on the other end. Then another voice. Lower. From the fleet admiral. You captured it in minutes. Now you run in hours. Vexcar did not answer right away. He looked at the security feed. In one corridor, 3 of his warriors sat against the wall. They breathed hard. Their eyes were wide. A turret above them watched. It did not shoot. It just waited. In another feed, a group tried to reach an escape pod bay. The hallway lights went out, then flashed bright. Strobe lights. The Krell covered their sensitive eyes. They stumbled blind, bumped into walls, fell over each other. Vexcar closed the channel. He could not explain. They would not understand until they saw it. He walked to the main console. He tried one last time. Fingers moved over keys. He entered override codes his technicians had pulled from captured data. Then it showed a simple message in large letters. Access denied. Have a nice day. Below it, a small picture of a human hand with the middle finger raised. Vexcar roared. He smashed the console with his fist. Sparks flew. The screen cracked. But the message stayed. Behind him, the bridge doors opened fully this time. Captain Ethan Hayes walked in. His hands were free now. No guards, no ropes. He wore the same torn uniform. His face had bruises, but he walked straight, calm. 2 steps behind him came Lieutenant Olivia Grant. She held a rifle. Not pointed, just ready. Petty Officer Benjamin Cole stood at the door. He blocked the way out. Vexcar turned slowly, his large eyes fixed on Ethan. How are you free? Ethan stopped a few meters away. The ship let me out. It knows who belongs here. Vexcar looked at the empty bridge. Your machine, it has destroyed my force. Half my warriors sleep, the rest run. This is not war. This is torture. Ethan shook his head. Not torture, defense. You came, you took, the ship answered. Olivia stepped forward. You thought we were weak, because we are small. You thought our tools were simple. You were wrong. Vexcar's mandibles moved fast. We are the Krell Empire. We do not beg. Ethan smiled. Small, cold. You will. He nodded to Olivia. She pressed a button on her wristcom. Every speaker on the ship turned on at once. A broadcast went out, not just inside, to the Krell fleet too. This is Captain Ethan Hayes of the USS Liberty. Your boarding parties are defeated. Your warriors are contained. Non-lethal force only. We can change that if needed, but we offer a choice. He paused. Leave now. Take your pods. Return to your ships. Withdraw from this sector. Send a message of no further aggression. Do this, and we let your people live. Refuse, and the Liberty will finish what it started. Vexcar stared at him. You give terms to the Conqueror? Ethan looked straight into the tall alien's eyes. You are not the Conqueror anymore. In the corridors, the remaining Krell heard the message. They looked at each other. Some dropped weapons. Others ran to escape pods. One young warrior spoke into his comm. High Talon, the ship speaks truth. We cannot win. Please, order retreat. Vexcar stood silent for a long moment. His pride fought, his fear won. He opened the fleet channel again. His voice came out low, broken. All units, full retreat. Launch all escape pods. Evacuate the human vessel. Do not fire. Do not delay. We surrender the prize. The words tasted like acid. He turned back to Ethan. You win, mammal. Take your cursed ship. We leave. Ethan did not move. Not enough. What more? A promise, Ethan said. Recorded, broadcast. Your empire will not return to this space. You will tell your people what happened here. The full truth. No lies, no glory. The day the Krell tried to take a human warship, and begged to give it back. Vexcar lowered his head. His mandibles hung loose. "Record it." Olivia pulled out a small device. She set it on the console. Red light blinked. "Recording." Vexcar spoke. His voice shook at first, then grew steady. "This is High Talon Vexcar of the Krell Empire. We boarded the human ship USS Liberty. We thought it weak. We thought its crew soft. We were wrong. The ship defended itself. It used no mercy weapons at first. It used tricks, traps. It made us fall without blood. Now we cannot hold it. We ask, we beg, the humans to take their vessel back. We withdraw. We will not return. Let this be known. Humans build ships that fight like living things. Do not challenge them lightly." He stopped. The light turned green. "Done." Ethan nodded. "Send it." Olivia pressed another button. The message went out to the Krell fleet, and to every human listening post that could catch it. Vexcar looked at Ethan one last time. "You are not like other races." Ethan answered quietly. "We are human. That is enough." The tall alien walked to the door. Benjamin stepped aside. Vexcar left without looking back. Escape pods launched from the Liberty, one after another, small lights in the dark. They flew to the waiting Krell ships. The fleet turned. Engines flared. They jumped away fast. The bridge grew quiet. Ethan walked to the command chair. He sat down. His chair, his ship. Olivia stood next to him. "Sir, we did it." Ethan looked at the empty space where the enemy fleet had been. "No, the Liberty did it." Somewhere deep in the ship, a soft hum answered, almost like a purr. In the holding areas, crew members opened doors. They helped stunned Krell to pods. No hate, just efficiency. The aliens left without a fight. Ava Thompson came to the bridge. Her face was dirty, her hands black with grease. She smiled. "Systems coming back online. Libby says hello." Ethan leaned back. "Tell her thank you." A speaker crackled. "You're welcome, Captain. Home is safe again." Benjamin laughed. A big, deep sound. "I need a drink." Olivia looked at Ethan. "What now, sir?" Ethan stared at the stars. "We go home, and we tell everyone, never underestimate a human ship or the people who built her." The USS Liberty turned slowly. Engines warmed. Stars stretched as she prepared to jump. 3 hours before, she was captured. Now she was free. The timer on the bomb ticked down. 30 minutes. The fusion core hummed low, like a sleeping beast waking up. In the outer hull chamber, red emergency lights pulsed slow. Shadows danced on metal walls. The air felt thick and hot from the machines. Lisa Morales stood by the device. Her leg throbbed where the purple bolt had burned it. Blood dried dark on her pants. She looked at the faces around her. Robert Klein leaned on a console, his bad arm limp. Daniel Lee checked the remote trigger one last time. Amanda Foster held her plasma cutter tight, ready to cover their escape. A few other crew members waited. Jenny Ruiz, Carlos Vega, and 3 Marines who had made it through the last fight. Captain John Harris lay on the stretcher. His breathing came shallow. Sweat covered his face. He looked at Lisa. "Go," he said. "Get them out. I'll stay. Trigger it when the time comes." Lisa shook her head. "No, sir. We finish this together." Stubborn as always. The comms crackled. Karen Brooks's voice came through one last time, weak but clear. "Corridor collapsed. They can't get past. For now. Good luck." Then silence. Everyone knew what it meant. Karen and her last Marines had bought them time with their lives. "Pods are ready," Daniel said. "Lifeboats on deck 10. 20 can fit. The rest in escape capsules." Lisa nodded. "Move, fast, no waiting." People ran. Feet echoed in the dark halls. Some carried wounded friends. Others limped alone. They passed broken doors and floating debris. Gas still lingered in places. Coughs followed them. The Vexari knew something was wrong. Their sensors picked up movement. They sent their biggest wave yet. Hundreds of shock troops. They poured through every breach. Purple energy lit up corridors like lightning. Bugs shouted in their buzzing language. They wanted the humans dead before any escape. In the main halls, small groups fought to cover the retreat. Amanda stayed back with 5 others. They held a junction. "Go!" she yelled to the runners. She fired her cutter. Blue beams sliced through alien shells. One bug charged. Amanda met it head-on. She drove the hot blade into its chest. Green blood hissed on her hands. Another alien shot her in the side. She fell, but kept firing until her team pulled her away. "Pods!" Daniel shouted. Lifeboats hissed open. People climbed in. Doors sealed. Small thrusters pushed them free into space. One by one, the capsules drifted away from the wreck. Back in the chamber, the timer showed 15 minutes left. Robert checked the wires again. "It's stable. Remote will work from outside." Lisa helped John sit up. He took the remote from Daniel. His fingers shook. "I give the order," he said. The Vexari reached the outer decks. Explosions rocked the ship as they blasted doors. Metal screamed. The bugs found the path to the chamber. Lisa, Robert, Daniel, and Jenny stayed to guard. They barricaded the entrance with heavy parts. They fired through gaps. Plasma met purple fire. An alien grenade rolled in. Carlos kicked it back. It exploded in the hall. Shrapnel pinged off walls. 10 minutes left. The bugs pushed harder. They broke through. 5 aliens charged in, tall, armored, eyes glowing red. Robert fired first. His cutter cut one in half. Daniel took another with a stolen spear. Jenny threw a toolbox. It hit an alien helmet and cracked it. Lisa shot the last 2. Green blood pooled on the floor. But more came. 5 minutes. John looked at them. "Get out. Now." Lisa hesitated. "Sir?" "Go," John said sharp. "That's an order." They ran. Robert helped Jenny. Daniel covered the rear. They reached the last lifeboat. Doors opened. They climbed in. John stayed alone. He held the remote. The timer showed 2 minutes. He pressed the button to override. The bomb armed fully. The Vexari flooded the chamber. Dozens of them. They saw the core. They saw John. One raised a spear. John smiled. "See you in hell." He pressed the trigger. The fusion core woke up. It glowed white-hot. Capacitors screamed. The blast started small, then grew. Fire raced through the hull. Metal tore like paper. The explosion punched out toward the alien flagship. Docking clamps snapped. The chain reaction hit the weak reactor panel. The Vexari flagship shuddered. Lights flickered across its hull. Secondary explosions bloomed along its sides. Engines died. Fuel lines ignited. The big ship listed to one side. Smaller craft around it caught fire too. Salvage ships spun away damaged. The armada broke apart in panic. Inside the last lifeboat, Lisa watched through the small window. The Endurance vanished in white fire. Pieces flew out like stars. The alien flagship burned. Its claws melted. It drifted dead. The boat shook from the shockwave, then quiet. Lisa sat back. Tears ran down her face, not from sadness alone, from pride. Robert stared at the empty space where the ship had been. He did it. Daniel sent a signal, a simple message on all open channels. "This is the crew of the Endurance. We fought for 9 days. The flagship is gone, but we are not. Humans endure." The message repeated. It reached far. Other human ships would hear it one day. Alien empires would hear it too. The lifeboats floated away. Small lights in the dark. Inside, people held each other. Some cried. Some stared silent. Jenny sang a soft song. Carlos drew a picture on the wall. A stick figure ship with a big explosion. They had no food left. No water. Air would last a few days. But rescue might come. Or It might not. It did not matter right then. They had fought. They had hurt the enemy bad. They had shown that a broken ship with broken people could still win something. 9 days. The Endurance was dust now, but her story lived. In the black of space, the survivors drifted, tired, hurt, alive, and unbroken.